Well, Millersville is a club program, so as a club athlete here at Millersville, how do you feel you are represented? Are you underrepresented, overrepresented, or do you feel the school is doing a decent job?
Four-checker. Dennis trying to quarterback something from his own zone. His pass looking for... Really? And it was intercepted on the attempt to Hennessy 2-on-1. Here's Pameleon. Shot! And a save by Bell!
That boy Bell!
You've got to be kidding me. How he got there.
My name is TJ Fosnot, and I am the current play-by-play announcer for the Millersville D2 ice hockey team. I'm also the director of communications.
Brett Vaccarello from Lunenburg, Massachusetts. Left-handed defenseman.
Chris Henn. I'm originally from New Haven, Connecticut. I'm a center.
My name is Jacob Burke. I am the assistant captain of the Millersville ice hockey team. I'm from Denver, Pennsylvania.
I'm TJ. I've been the announcer here for 6 years now, ever since I was a freshman. I learned under some guys, and they moved on after they graduated. Unfortunately, I have not graduated yet, but yeah, we're still here and still loving what I do.
So for those who aren't aware, this is a club team we're talking about. Can you explain to those that are listening, what's the difference between, so there's NCAA, and then many are familiar with intramurals. Can you kind of describe what makes club sports maybe different or the same?
Well, club sports are a whole different thing. You have intramurals, which are basically just, you're playing for fun. You're not playing for keeps. I mean, yeah, at Millersville they give out, shirts and stuff that say intramural champion, but NCAA, you are there to do a job for the school. You're a student athlete. You are either on a scholarship, you're working towards a scholarship. I mean, you can be a walk-on, but most times it's not going to happen. And then club is like, what these guys are is they play out of the ACHA, which is right below the NCAA. You have the NCAA with its three divisions, Division I, which is your big schools, your Michigans, your Minnesotas, your Notre Dames. Those are the guys that, are going to go to the NHL and stuff like that. Your D2 schools, not really that many NCAA D2 players come out to go on to professional careers. Most of those guys will end up overseas or in the ECHL or lower level professional.
Number 3, Millersville comes into the third final period with a 2-goal lead, 6-4. They hold the advantage. Here's Kohana. Fires the pass to Hennessy. McCulley with a nifty move, and now a chance for the Marauders. Looks for Ryder. Shot goes wide.
And what made you choose Millersville over a school in the Northeast?
Well, my first year of school, I went to school in New Hampshire. Got cut there, and was looking to transfer. I wanted to get away from home, and Millersville was far enough away where it wasn't too much of a trip home, and they were the only hockey team on campus, so that's kind of what I was looking for, and obviously had my major, so that kind of was a big sell to me.
As a club athlete here at Millersville, what do you think the difference is between club, intramurals, and NCAA?
The intramurals had a 4-game schedule and got pounded in soccer, so NCAA, they definitely have a bigger time commitment. They get older guys every year, and I think, the time commitment definitely is a big difference. 2 practices a week instead of 3 or 4, stuff like that. So.
As far as club sports in general, I'd say we're a little bit more involved in a club sport. I know the school recognized that. With COVID and everything, it was a bit difficult, but I think we definitely do more travel-wise, and we definitely compete more than most club sports, I'd say.
Honestly, as far as club sports go, and when you compare us to the rest of the clubs in our league, conference, whatever, I feel like we get fairly good representation, not necessarily from the school, but I think more of our results speak for ourselves. Obviously, we're a winning team. People clearly come to our games, and, that's people just, it markets itself. So I believe the school, could maybe market our games a lot more, considering the fact that, we do win a lot of our games. I feel like, maybe an Instagram post on, just the Millersville page could be enough. But, I think, as far as club hockey programs go, I think, we do pretty good. And I feel like anything that could be improved could probably be improved on our end from like PR stuff and maybe like videography.
My freshman year was definitely we had an NCAA experience. This year after COVID, funding wasn't as much, so we had less ice time, less money from the school, but we get fans. We're supported on campus, so they do a good job with us.
So you guys feel you're represented pretty well?
From a club aspect, yes. Like when you look at teams like TCNJ or Monmouth, Princeton, even Bernathen, like when we would go to games over the course of last season, the only team that really had fans of their games was us, and that obviously speaks volumes. I feel like if that could get marketed more, for example, like if just like the school would just post, like if every time we had a game, the school posts, just like with every other sport, because I do believe that, obviously, we shouldn't be held. I don't think I'm not saying that we should be put up there with an considered an NCAA sport, but we definitely should be held in a much higher regard as a club team. We are for sure. You know what? Honestly, I believe that we probably have just as much. We should probably be held in as high regard as an NCAA team, especially with a lot of the changes we think about putting into the program this year. We're now putting a gym in, new workout programs. Our coaching staff has completely changed. We're thinking about a complete rework of the culture. So I believe that this next upcoming season and moving forward, we can be expecting a lot more. Like I mentioned earlier, how our results speak for itself. I believe this coming season and seasons after that, our results will speak for ourselves, and there will be no reason why we will not have to request to be, advertised more or more people to go to our games because, the way we carry ourselves when we walk around, the way we perform at our games, the amount of people that show up, it won't be an issue.
We came to the consensus that the Millersville club hockey program feels very undervalued. Did you get that sense as well?
As far as our club program goes, I think we do a lot of things good internally. A lot of the guys are very involved. Campus-wise, I think we have a lot of supporters that come out. That's shown on some of our big game nights. But as far as funding and everything, I think it's been a weird few years just because of everything that's been going on. So we've been all kind of gathering and trying to get that going to get a little bit more support from everyone.
The club aspect of it, we travel every weekend. So my weekends as the announcer from, I think, mid-September it was this year to middle of February. I mean, I'm gone every weekend with the boys. We're going to one away game or two. So the one weekend we had 3 because of weather. So we play other schools. It's not like intramurals where you're playing kids from the same school. No, we're playing schools like the University of Scranton, who is another state school. We play Westchester, our biggest rival. I mean, we're, an hour away from them. So those games always get heated. They always come here for our homecoming game. So it's always a battle. I mean, we won that one in overtime this year. Shouldn't have been taken to overtime. We were a much better team than them, but stuff happens, and that was the circumstances. But yeah, the club dynamic is basically these guys are a step below NCAA, and they are very underrepresented because people view club sports closer to intramurals, when in reality these guys are getting up, going to class, going to the gym, then going to practice, and then coming home to do homework, and it's 11 o'clock, 12 at night. So these guys work their tails off, and hopefully through this we can get them a little bit more recognition.